Rob Geo 0407L presents Musical Synopsis Fridays, Ep.5, Grease.
What is it all about?
Grease is a 1971 musical by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. Named after the 1950s United States working-class youth subculture known as Greasers, the musical is set in 1959 at fictional Rydell High School, based on the William Howard Taft School in Chicago, Illinois, and follows 10 working-class teenagers as they navigate the complexities of peer pressure, politics, personal core values, and love. The score borrows heavily from the sounds of early rock and roll. In its original production in Chicago, Grease was a raunchy, raw, aggressive, vulgar show. Subsequent productions sanitized it and toned it down. The show mentions social issues such as teenage pregnancy, peer pressure, and gang violence. Its themes include love, friendship, teenage rebellion, sexual exploration during adolescence, and, to some extent, class consciousness or class conflict. Jacobs described the show's basic plot as a subversion of common tropes of 1950s cinema, since the female lead, who in many 1950s films transformed the alpha male into a more sensitive and sympathetic character, is instead drawn into the man's influence and transforms into his fantasy. Grease was first performed in 1971 in the original Kingston Mines nightclub in Chicago. From there, it has been successful on both stage and screen, but the content has been diluted and its teenage characters have become less Chicago habitus and more generic. At the time that it closed in 1980, Grease's 3,388 performance run was the longest yet in Broadway history, although it was surpassed by a chorus line on September 29, 1983. It went on to become a West End hit, a successful feature film, two popular Broadway revivals in 1994 and 2007, and a staple of regional theater, summer stock, community theater, and high school and middle school drama groups. It remains as Broadway's 16th longest running show. Grease was adapted in 1978 as a feature film also named Grease, which removed some plot elements, characters, and songs while adding new songs and elaborating on some plot elements only alluded to in the musical. Some of these versions have been incorporated into revivals of the musical. A 2016 live TV musical used elements from both the original stage version and the film. A 1982 film sequel, Grease 2, which featured only a few supporting characters from the film and musical, had no involvement from Jacobs or Casey. Jacobs is on record disapproving of Grease 2.
Act 1.
In revivals that use the 1978 song Grease, it is typically inserted at or near the beginning of the show. The musical begins with all of the cast coming to school and getting ready in Rydell High School class of 1959 reunion, headed by old maid English teacher Miss Lynch, who sings with Patty and Eugene the school anthem. She welcomes former cheerleader / yearbook editor Patty Simcox Honeywell and the class valedictorian Eugene Florchek. Eugene gives a rousing speech, mentioning that the alumni who are missing from the reunion are surely present in spirit. Suddenly, the Greaser gang known as the Burger Palace Boys, known in later versions as the T-Birds, and their auxiliary, the Pink Ladies, appear and recite their own parody of the Rydell anthem. The scene fades to Rydell High's first day of the new school year. The Pink Ladies sit in the lunchroom, and the T-Birds sit at the entrance to the school. There is a new girl at school, Sandy Dombrowski, who had been unjustly rejected from a Catholic school. She describes to the Pink Ladies, Frenchie, Marty Chan, and Rizzo, how she had a brief love affair the summer before, which ended with unresolved love. Unbeknownst to Sandy, her lover Danny attends Rydell, and is a member of the Greaser gang. In describing the fling, Sandy focuses on the romance, while Danny exaggerates to the other T-Birds, Kaneki, Roger, Duty, and Sunny, regarding the physical aspects of their relationship. The Pink Ladies soon after realize that Sandy's summer fling was the same Danny Zuko that attends Rydell High and arrange for the two to bump into each other at school. The resulting meeting is tense and awkward, as Danny had previously told Sandy that he attended a private academy and does not want to admit to the T-Birds that she was the woman he was talking about. As the T-Birds leave, Sandy is heartbroken, but the Pink Ladies calm her down, cheer her up, and invite her over to Marty's pajama party. Shortly afterwards, the teenagers gather in the hall as Duty shows off his new guitar. The rock star wannabe gives an impromptu concert in the hall. At Marty's pajama party, the girls experiment with wine, cigarettes, and pierced ears, and talk about boys. The sheltered Sandy goes into shock from seeing blood when the pink ladies try to pierce her ears, leading them to mock her when she's not in the room. Marty tells about her long-distance courtship with a Marine named Freddie, which is implied she only maintains because of the lavish gifts he sends her from Japan. That same night, the T-Birds are busy stealing hubcaps and teasing Kaneki about his new, used car, Grease Lightning. An unfazed Kaneki firmly believes that with some upgrades, the car will be a racing-worthy chick magnet. Danny sees Sandy again at her cheerleader practice, and tries to apologize for his behavior. Head cheerleader Patty Simcox interrupts and flirts with Danny. Patty informs Danny that track tryouts are nearing, and Danny tells Sandy that he will join the track team to prove that he is sophisticated. After Danny leaves, Patty and Sandy practice their cheer choreography. The T-Birds and Pink Ladies take their newfangled portable radios for a picnic in the park. Danny reveals to the rest of the Greasers that he has joined the track team, much to their dismay and skepticism. After Roger and Jan bicker about food, drink, and religion, she asks him how he earned the nickname Rump. He explains that, as King of the Mooners, he has a hobby of baring his backside to unsuspecting victims, and in the process, both reveal their affections for each other. Rizzo teases Danny for falling for a girl who resembles the excessively proper teenage ingenue, Sandra Dee, and the other Greasers join in as she makes fun of Sandy, who has not arrived to the picnic yet. Sandy, working on a biology assignment with Eugene, comes in just as the Greasers finish making fun of her. She attacks Rizzo in a fit of rage and erroneously assumes Danny is the one behind the mockery. Furious, she tells Danny that she wishes she never met him and storms out of the picnic. Danny shrugs off Sandy's negative response, and the Greasers pair off for the upcoming sock hop. Danny teases Marty for not having a date, recommending Eugene, and the Greasers all laugh, declaring that they will be friends no matter what. For revivals that use Hopelessly Devoted to You, the exact placement varies. It sometimes replaces the first rendition of We Go Together, and in other examples, such as the 2007 revival, it is placed early in Act 2.
Act 2.
It is the night of the school dance, where everyone is having fun dancing in the gym. Sandy is at home by herself, listening to the radio, and crying over how much she misses Danny. Meanwhile, Kaneki comes into the dance with his date, Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, a beastly girl from St. Bernadette's Academy. Patty tries to pair up with Danny, trash-talking Sandy's cheerleading skills in the process, but is unable to get out of her promise to dance with Eugene despite Rizzo trying to seduce Eugene as a distraction. Kaneki ends up paired off with Rizzo and Danny with Cha-Cha. The MC Vince Fontaine, a radio disc jockey, begins the hand jive dance contest, and everyone eagerly participates as he tags the contestants out. In the end, Danny and Cha-Cha are the winners. Amongst the awards given to the couple, Danny receives 2 free drive-in movie tickets. Sometime later outside the Burger Palace hangout, Kaneki, Duty, and Sunny run into Frenchie. The boys are armed with an arsenal of household items and reveal that, to their surprise, Cha-Cha was the girlfriend of someone in the T-Birds' rival gang, the Flaming Dukes. Cha-Cha told the Flaming Dukes about how she danced with Danny, and, as a response, the Flaming Dukes challenged the T-Birds to a rumble. Danny sprints into the scene, wearing a tracksuit after having joined the Rydell track team, to the disapproval and confusion of the other T-Birds. Danny turns down their urgent invitation to the Flaming Dukes rumble due to time conflict with the track race, which he sprints off to. The 3 remaining T-Birds go into the Burger Palace for a snack before the fight, and Frenchie laments at what to do with her life, having dropped out of beauty school in frustration at failing all of her classes. The Heavenly Teen Angel appears with a chorus of backup singing angels and tells her to return to high school. The 3 T-Birds exit the Burger Palace, bemoaning Danny's portrayal while only half-heartedly noticing Roger is unaccounted for. They wait for the Flaming Dukes, but the rival gang never turns up. Roger finally turns up with a car antenna as his weapon, and the Greasers criticize him for showing up so late with such a pathetic excuse for a weapon. Roger challenges the 3 T-Birds, who proceed to run off with Roger's pants and shoes. In the next scene, Danny and Sandy are in Greased Lightning. watching a drive-in movie. Danny tells Sandy how upset his buddies are at him and how sorry he is for his companion's behavior during the picnic. After Danny offers Sandy a ring, he attempts to get intimate with her, but moves too fast and she leaves. Danny misses Sandy and wishes that they could be together again. Several days later, Sandy and the Greasers, without Danny, are having a party in Jan's basement as Judy, on guitar, performs alongside Roger. Rizzo, who missed her period, suspects she is pregnant and tells the Pink Ladies that the father is a stranger who had sex with her with a cheap, broken condom. The T-Birds offer support, which Rizzo rejects. Rizzo is left alone with Sandy, who questions Rizzo on why she rejected her friends and deduces that Kenickie was the presumptive father. Rizzo responds by saying that she is a better person than others make her out to be and that showing weakness is the worst thing she knows. Rizzo leaves, and Sandy decides what she needs to do to fit in with the Greasers. The next day, the T-Birds are hanging out at the Burger Palace. Patty Simcox comes in, miserable and emotionally hurt. She tells them that Danny quit the track team and gave the finger to the coach. The T-Birds laugh and congratulate Danny, who returns. Sandy comes in alongside the Pink Ladies, having transformed herself from an innocent schoolgirl into a Greaser's dream date, punching out a dismayed Patty. Danny is delighted at this change and the couple express their mutual feelings for each other. Afterwards, the other T-Birds and Pink Ladies cheer for Danny and Sandy being together again. They happily invite Patty to watch the Mickey Mouse Club with them at Roger's house, and she agrees. Frenchie takes a job as a makeup saleswoman at Woolworth's. Rizzo reveals that she is not pregnant, and she and Kenickie reunite. All ends happily, and the T-Birds, the Pink Ladies, Sandy, and Patty sing about how they will always be friends to the end.
The end.
Hey there guys, Robert here. I just want to thank you all so much for watching episode 5 of Musical Synopsis Fridays. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and tap the bell icon to get notified so you don't miss a video from me, as we're on the road to 2,000 subs. And I know that we are less than 10 subs away from this long-awaited goal. And it would be nice for you viewers who are watching my videos now to subscribe to this channel, as we are on the road to 2,000 subs. And again, I would like to thank you all so much for watching this episode, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace!